Hello and welcome, everybody. This is the Howling of Frankfort. I am, of course, joined by MB Rose. Frankfort, I am, of course, joined by MB Rose.
That's Kita.
Nappy Kitty. Booter. Taz.
As Ophelia.
And Vincent.
Vincent Elwin as Cedric.
So, Nappy Kitty, could you go ahead and give us the recap?
In our previous episode, our werewolf friends ended up with a small predicament after their encounter with the Spider Lady. Spider Lady gave them a deal that was too spooky to decline. So she basically was like, hey, get out of town. I'll spare your life. Let me just take over this little place you got here. So then Tommy was like, sure, totally. Let me just convince my pack. And then I run to my pack and I was like, guys, she's totally trying to, get us out of here, but it's not a good idea because this is our turf. And then I ended up making a few phone calls, throwing a few people under the bus. It's pretty great. So now we're about to perhaps call a sacred hunt to initiate our new pack members.
Alright, so, at this point I'm gonna say, Ophelia, who was doing research at the time, has now come downstairs, and I think needs to be updated on exactly what the hell's going on.
I thought I was sent out with Cedric's card to buy things or something.
I told them that you were upstairs doing research.
Uh-oh. Oh no.
What's happening?
Oh no.
She was upstairs and then she decided to do some shopping.
No, she was never upstairs.
I was never upstairs.
She was never upstairs.
I was never upstairs.
The entire time she's been here. Oh, were you doing that Drax thing where you were moving so slow?
No, I was actually going shopping. I had to buy cigarettes. I was trying to be gone for 10 years, but then I was told, hey, come back.
That's about right.
Well,
okay.
I said she went to go do research, and she did actually go upstairs, but only to grab that plastic thing that still has a number of charges on it that gets the things we need. I'm just kidding. He's not that old. He understands the concept of fiat currency.
Alright, so, Ophelia, what do you come back with from your little shopping escapade then?
Okay, so I managed to find some sort of weird candy. I guess these are eclairs. What else is in this thing? I just grabbed random stuff off the shelf at the local gas station.
So she's not going to be doing our shopping.
Do you have the graph paper, the mechanical pencils, the tape measure, the protractor,
Oh yeah, I got those too.
The planning stuff that I usually get.
Yeah, I got those. Don't worry about it. I just got really hungry while I was out.
Traveling Roots.
Did you have to buy 3 packs of fruit roll-ups?
Yes.
Traveling Roots looks at the eclairs and looks at Tommy.
She is one of us.
One of us.
She brought the eclairs. Wow. I didn't even show you where to go for the eclairs.
Yeah, where did you go for these? Are these the correct eclairs?
Wait, hold on.
The gas station eclairs. They're probably solid as a brick now. You can probably use them as a weapon.
Doesn't count then. Has to be fresh. Actually, then you got the wrong eclairs because these sell out every morning. There is no stale eclairs. And I tossed the plate. Okay.
I was going to actually heat those up, but okay.
Okay, so while you were gone, we got a visitor, Spider Lady. She made an interesting proposition for us. Basically, get out of town, spare our lives. She takes over the town and kills every other werewolf in the 20 whatever mile radius. of course, we're not going to do it, but she is in belief that we will. We have to be extra careful with what we say because she is sending someone over. Hopefully, they're not here yet, but she's sending over some spiders to keep an eye and ear on us. Yeah.
So, question for y'all. Why keep this y'all's pack alive?
I think we discussed
Uh,
this last time, but
We're irritating enough that she doesn't want to deal with us.
Yeah.
Then why
And
not
we've
just kill y'all?
Because we're not worth it.
Yeah. I mean, what other how many enemies actually like bad guys don't like actually killing people. They want easy. They want easy, and we have literally nothing to lose. So it's like, and
Yep,
we all hate
fine.
each other.
essentially we would be cornered animals. We'd fight harder and stronger than any other pack in the area. Because we have nothing to lose, we're more likely to cause far more damage than we're worth. Thus, she seeks a less Pyrrhic victory.
Yeah, we might not be as cool as everybody else in town, but we do hold ourselves together pretty well. We will fight back as hard as we can, which is what we're going to do here in this scenario.
If this was a fantasy novel or show, this would be as cliche as hell, and the villain is stupid.
Well, I mean, facts are facts. I can't change the facts here.
At this point,
Cedric is drawing in the paper, so don't mind him.
You actually hear a knocking at the door.
No
I
one's
got it.
home, I yell back.
I got the
Really?
door last time. It's someone else's turn.
Fine, I'll
Not
get
it.
the door. Okay. Jeez. Hush. I open the door.
A fat, squat little man with cheeks way too round and red to be real stands at the door rubbing his hands together, and he goes, "You Tommy?"
No, her name is Tommy.
My
You
lip
got
is
the wrong
kind of
house.
my lip is kind of quivering. Sure, depends. Who are you? What are you?
I'm a friend of our mutual friend. If you don't mind me, do you have like a basement or a crawl space where I can get started? And his eyes are extremely black and beady.
Ew.
Question.
Okay.
Kita is still. She's back in his shoe or Erhan? Sorry, I forgot.
You took the table to the face in his shoe, so I would say you're still in his shoe.
I thought she transformed after that. Or I might be wrong.
Yeah, I transformed after I got angry. I'm not sure if I changed back.
Okay, then you'd be in Urhan if you transformed after that.
Okay, I
To
stay
be
in
whatever
wolf
you want to
form.
be.
I'm still Wolfie Wolf. Can I? Well, you're already describing him. Never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
The
You can
crawl
smell him if you
space
want.
you can go to is round back.
Oh, okay. Well, if you excuse me, and he walks in, and then following him seems to be about 30 to 40 rats.
Hell no.
As he makes his way.
Adam.
Piper's in town.
He stares at Kita and he goes, "Get away, you mutt. I'm doing you a favor."
I look at Tommy like,
Don't. Just let him.
They all make their way, and you actually hear him pull up the floorboard in the what would be the laundry room where the crawl space entrance is.
in the world? This house is never going to be fixed.
Well, we got our first set of eyes on us.
Wait, do we have anything in the crawl space?
No.
Not to my knowledge.
I'm just making sure.
No, we don't. Because we had just moved back into the house. So
That's right.
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. And then I think Kita had already kind of scouted through the house and looked through stuff. So, no. There's nothing.
So you,
I am so sorry that you guys have to listen to the elote guy outside. If you guys can hear him.
so you guys now have rats living in your house.
Yeah. This is just the first set of eyes on us. We're still waiting on our next guest. Hint, hint. I look at everybody.
Storyteller, is there a Waffle House in the area?
What?
Not in the town, no. The most recent breakfast place was Jim Dandy, and that closed down several years back.
Oh, that's where he got him from.
Any restaurant places like, like good old Crystals and stuff that's like, what time is it currently in the world? Like
It would be evening time. Outside of your standard fast food joints, there's a Chinese buffet that gets closed down every year, reopens. There's Ponderosa Steakhouse, but I mean, yeah, it's not a very active community. A lot of that has to do with the spider infestation blocking the essence. Kind of kills an area.
Are you hungry, Olivia? Ophelia, sorry.
Every
Ophelia.
time, somebody.
Somebody. I was doing so well too. I'm sorry. Ophelia, are you hungry?
Sort of.
Because if you are, I mean, we do have quite a few rats that just came in.
I don't eat those. Hey, rat guy, do you want some chips? The barbecue.
They're already in the crawl space, gnawing away at the gauntlet.
I throw a bag of chips in there just because I'm bored.
All right. Well, that was me trying to kind of insinuate that this would be a good time to hunt. Hint.
All right. And you just hear an announcement from Cedric as he just like abruptly stands up. I have a plan.
Oh dear. Okay.
If anyone's listening.
We're all
Is anyone listening?
Keto wags her tail in interest.
Sure.
He sets down the graph paper, and on there is a detailed tactical drawing of the house, and the best to his knowledge, because he came through the portal or whatever it's called from the other realm. I'm still getting my terminology right. And it's basically, it's nothing fancy. It's just a standard drawing. And I'll say, all right, here's the plan. Based on my assessment of our situation, I don't think we're going to be able to hold up this deception for very long. So I think our best effort is going to be to, well, go hunting for the weekend.
Kita
always
starts
a good idea
prancing
to
in a
hunt.
circle. Yay.
You guys would be permanently part of the pack. So if that's what you two want, I am up for you guys joining us permanently.
Well, if you'll take...
I'm gonna withhold judgment at this moment.
I mean, if you have other options that you would like to explore.
I mean, I always have to lay things on the table because there are things that I can lose, like my life.
I mean, that comes with the territory of being what we are.
Life is short, then you die.
It's a daily gamble, our lives.
I know
our whole existence.
It's more of... I'll just have to still watch and see and, well, judge based on a lot of things before I can actually join another pack. If you understand, I really don't losing people I care about.
I don't understand, only because, as I told Kita when she first came to our group, you can go off if you want. But as you've seen, heard, read, you know that 1 to 2 werewolves on their own generally do not make it. Your emotions are high. You're a target on the daily. So there's the door if you want to go, but just holding off isn't going to establish your life anymore.
I kind of just give a look to Cedric and just say, I don't know what you're thinking, Cedric. I really don't know.
Traveling.
The sooner we get this spider business taken care of, the sooner we can decide whether to stick around or find our own way. But if we don't have someone to stick around with, we're going to get picked off like, well, ants on a harvest day.
Traveling Roots kind of moves his way over, and he goes, in his best first tongue, he still struggles with actually vocalizing, but because you're not members of the pack, he can't implant images into your head as he would normally. Mostly pure live in this area. The sheer fact you're Forsaken already paints a target on you. This pack is the only Forsaken pack in the area. There are 2 other packs on their way. However, they are not staying here for very long. They will leave once this situation is over. It's right now your best option if you're in this area. And he kind of maneuvers his eye, one stalk facing at Cedric, the other stalk facing Ophelia.
Listen, I just don't want to lose any more people at this point. If I join you on the hunt, I at least want to be able to see how y'all actually work together.
Traveling Roots goes, good, we don't want to lose any more either.
Question to the storyteller, whatever.
Yeah.
Is the hunt more of a ceremonial thing, or does the bond happen during the hunt?
It usually happens during the hunt.
Oh. Well.
So it is ceremonial to an extent, but it's one of those, it's like the inaugural thing. So it does, the teamwork that you guys gain while doing the hunt bind you closer together. There is a little bit of a spiritual aspect of it that binds you to the totem as well during that time. So you would also be not only getting bound to the or to the other werewolves here, Tommy, Jackson, and Kita. You would also be being bound to Traveling Roots, the spirit totem.
I admit that when it comes to plans, I'm the expert, but when it comes to caution, Ophelia is the expert. So, I know you're concerned about losing people, but unfortunately we're going to lose ourselves if we don't find someone to stay with. So, what plans have you got? Remember that conversation I had about fate and how funny it can be at times?
I feel like it's about to be punishment.
Well, sometimes fate's a little sadistic. Anyway, the main question is, if you want to give them your condition for trusting them, let them know.
I want is proof of survivability.
Well, you'll get that during the hunt. If they do
And
well, go ahead.
I don't want senseless bloodshed. If we can get out, we get out.
I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of sense in anything that's about to happen. Except
There
that...
isn't.
Except that when you're chosen to be a werewolf by fate or design, there isn't a whole lot of sense in the why. There's only accepting the truth. I, for one, didn't necessarily choose this, but I've learned to live with it over time. A lot of people don't have it as easy. They don't visit or live at a Renaissance fair where they can just disappear on strange nights. So I can only imagine to hope what other people have gone through, but I know this much. Learning to roll with the punches is part of being a werewolf. And as you said, we've already lost a lot. So the skepticism is warranted. But, as they said, we don't have very many options here.
We have lost our own as well. We don't just engage just for the sake of engaging. I know I always make the joke of, I just want to punch things. However, in this current situation that we have been forced into, there will be bloodshed, but it won't be senseless. And hopefully it'll be mostly their blood and not our blood. And I know we have only known each other for a couple of hours. So to ask you to trust us, and frankly, for me to just trust you two, it's asking a lot. I get it. But with everybody that I've seen, met, and have come through my life, I can guarantee, I really can guarantee that after this, Jack will be your brother. Kita and I will be your sisters. There is no more single lone wolf. There's no more just you two surviving. You will be part of a group. We won't abandon you. We won't forsake you. We might throw punches at each other here and there, but this is your new family, your new option to be here and not just stranded out there alone. So I think it would be just a good idea to just join, especially after this rat infestation that we take care of.
Traveling Roots kind of looks down at the graph paper and he goes, "And you were saying about your plan, Cedric?"
All right. So, as well as I think our little diplomatic entourage went, I don't think it'll particularly be held for very long. If anything, we've only bought a few hours before the emissary of the spider queen thing shows up. At that point, I suggest we go on an offensive by taking out one of their officers before they can learn too much about this area. Although, he kind of looks around the ramshackled state of the house and says, I suspect there's already more than one spy in these walls. Somewhere.
True.
As for the rat thing, the rats are going to be functional at least for a little while. They're going to whittle away at the webway.
The gauntlet.
Sorry, wrong genre. They're going to chip and weave, or they're going to chip and bite away at the gauntlet enough to get it back to a stable condition. They serve a purpose for now. It's going to boil down to what is our biggest millstone until we can start swimming. Agreed?
Agreed.
So, here's my proposed plan. We hunt the spider's minion thing, whatever is coming, and we make a very strong, very bold, open offensive while what passes for allies start to congregate in the area. At that point, it'll be easy for them to jump into the fray as allies because it'll cost them nothing. But we stand to lose everything by people sitting around and sniping at each other. So, what I'm proposing is a bold offensive against the Aslu host thing. Secondarily, if I could borrow a phone that has more minutes than what I've got on mine, there are some people that I can contact that can tell us more about hosts, about this spider thing, what we can do. I can gather what information we need before we start.
I do just stick my phone out in front of his face immediately.
What? I don't have unlimited minutes on this thing. We discussed this.
I'm giving you the phone to use.
Cedric takes a look at the phone and goes, "Where's the buttons?"
Oh, man.
Okay. I do show him where the buttons are.
Oh, this thing has a digital keypad. This is cool.
Oh dear.
Kita's gonna go hiss you real quick.
Okay. Kita's in human form now. Why?
I'm gonna just leave it at that. Kita's just gonna be hiss you real quick and just stare at his amazement with the digital phone buttons.
Well, no, I mean, I'd finally gotten accustomed to a digital display, and we lived out in the middle of nowhere. You had to use those like big satellite phones just to talk to people. So,
Oh dear.
in my defense, I'm a little slow on the technology uptake thing, but I'm good at books. Books I can do.
So,
That's what we got Kita for.
the person that you call, do they have a name?
Daniel. At least that's his human name. But he is of the gosh, what was the group? I know I mentioned it earlier.
Hunters in the Darkness?
Yes. He is one of the hunters in the darkness. And I can just say we have the conversation.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'll draft up a plan with the knowledge and everything. So Cliff's notes, what do I need to tell the group?
For an infestation this big, definitely the Spider Queen can actually birth her own young. So she's not actually having to replenish her numbers the way most Aslu nests would. She's able to produce them biologically, essentially. Which means that getting rid of her is the first step. Because if you don't get rid of her, no matter how many of them you kill, she's going to be able to replenish their numbers. However, because that is such a rare condition for a host to be able to give birth like that, they're going to be fiercely protective of her. So, in that situation, you are going to need a mass amount of numbers. One, to hold off the tide while the strongest of the strong go in after her and drop her as fast as possible.
And she was here
All right.
on our front
Also,
step.
Daniel, on
Tree.
kind of a side note, how's that game development you were working on?
Going good.
Awesome.
I'm almost done. Beta testing soon. I'll make sure I'll give Ophelia a copy. I would say you, but right now
I'm okay with an Amiga.
Yeah. Okay. I'll see. I'll see about getting you one as well.
If I get something new, whatever.
Okay.
All right. So, little bit of a revised plan, but the initial plan doesn't really change. So I'm going to come back to the pack and say, all right, slight change of plans, but nothing major. We're still going to take out and send a message to the Spider Queen. We need her to come to us.
Okay.
We need the actual her to come to us. Now, the Spider Queen is infested and settled enough that she can spawn her own minions. No matter what we do, we're looking at 1, maybe 2 shots. We cannot afford a war of attrition against these spiders. If we do not strike quickly and powerfully enough, what little forces we have, including the pure, will be overwhelmed in a matter of no time. So, we're going to create an opening for everyone else to jump in and start fighting their way through the spider armies, at which point the strongest of our collective efforts will strike directly at the queen herself. Now, the question is going to be, because I'm new to the area, whom arguably is the strongest team we can put together for this, well. And he stops to think because he gets stuck on the word. He wants to say regicide, but he can't remember if that includes the queen as well. Is it regicide if you kill the queen?
I believe regicide just means
the action of killing a king.
Yeah, so what's the act of killing a queen?
Queenicide.
Divorce?
Divorce. We are going to divorce her from her life.
It counts because okay.
Okay.
History lesson. It also involved one of the queens. I think it was.
Okay.
I think Queen Mary. Yeah, Mary, Queen of Scots was. It was also considered regicide.
Okay, well, there you go.
History lesson.
Yay.
The name of the game is, of course, regicide. Don't worry about the forces on the side. Don't worry about the forces beyond. Focus solely on the palace and the queen within. Everything else just needs to be held off. We only get one shot at this, so what team are we putting together to take out the queen?
We need a lot of Rahu. So, Tommy, you're one.
Okay, so 1. How many more do we know?
Unfortunately, the vast majority of Glitterfangs are Kalith and Edeloths, and the vast majority of the Bone Shadows that are coming, the Ebon Shadows, are Iraka, some Edeloths, some Aether. No true, there may be a couple of Rahu, and obviously the pure do not have Rahu.
They don't have the same auspices.
They don't have any auspice.
Yeah.
And then
I wonder if we can appeal to the pure's pride. Convince them to be the vanguard of this assault.
It's a vanguard.
First one's in.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
First one's in, and the ones who forge the path for the strike team. With their admittedly larger numbers and sheer unwillingness to accept any kind of such, and you can tell the sarcasm dripping off of his fangs, incisors in this case, says, with their complete inability to admit such lavish or outlandish concepts as defeat, they're very much likely to throw themselves by the thousands or hundreds or whatever against these spiders, just out of spite. But what the case may be. Go ahead.
Traveling Roots was just going to say, the fire touched are known to be very numerous. So, likely they have the largest bulk of our numbers when it comes to werewolves.
Well, maybe if they're man enough, or wolf enough, they'll go toe-to-toe with Aslu, provided there's the right incentive. And pride is such an easy thing to manipulate.
Traveling Roots kind of says, well, they've already got their reasoning for wanting to fight.
Yes.
They're the ones that actually invited the rat people here to chew down the gauntlet. They worship the spirits. Having a thicker wall between them and their lovers, he kind of blinks, is more than enough of a reason. However, that's like putting a wall of mages in the front line.
You mean they're going to die very quickly?
They are more useful with their talents and gifts in the back line throwing fire.
Maybe pair them up with someone that's a brute and willing to go toe to toe.
And of our forces, whom would that be?
Tommy.
Just Tom.
Just,
Well,
just me.
From our history with George's pack, are there any that stood out to us as being tougher than the others?
Well, outside of the very, very obvious answer that I'm going to give.
Outside of George.
Mm-hmm.
Not George. Yeah, George.
Yeah, George.
Yeah.
Yeah. Outside of George, I mean, there were a couple of decent fighters. You do know that there is another pure tribe in between here and where the Glitterfangs came from that are predator kings, and they are notorious for being the most barbaric savages this side of werewolfhood.
We drag them out their cave and bring them out?
Possibly. I wonder what would happen if the Spider Queen's officer just disappeared. Do you think she'd make a show of power, make her presence known, and not just hide behind her fortress of web?
To be someone pretty close. If we can grab them, it'll probably work. And throw her in a bit of a panic.
True. So this hunt must be completed with the utmost of stealth, cunning, precision, and a complete inability to get a message out in the event we satisfy the requirements. So we need someone who is very quiet, very unwilling to be detected, and very, very quick to take down her target.
I stare at Ophelia.
I've been like snacking on some of the snacks. Like, what?
Ooh, snacks.
We need you to do that thing where you stab people really, really well.
And they don't even do it.
Who's getting the end of the pointy stick?
The Spider Queen's officer needs the pointy end of the stick, but doesn't need to completely die yet.
Huh, yeah, actually, I do some damage. I just gotta see the type. Well, see the in person, and you know how I walk. I know how to kill most of them already.
Speak of the devil, and it will appear. Although I don't recall turning to page 3 on the script yet.
Who is it?
Okay.
Kita yells.
I got it.
Okay.
I got this one, boss. So I'm going to open the door and hear, yes.
A elderly lady stands at the door and she goes, "Oh, is George not here?"
Oh, lady. Turkey lady.
I'm sorry. I'm afraid there's been a lack of direction to the residence. I'll ask one of the neighbors. I'm quite new in town myself.
She kind of looks past you. Tommy, you're back!
Yay! Yes, I am. I run over. I kind of move Cedric aside and hug her.
Oh, all right. That was my best Prince impression. I was gonna,
Aw.
At this time, Cedric, you're close to the door. Is anybody else close to the door?
No,
I was
am.
approaching the door.
Okay. Both you and Cedric, could you please roll me perception checks?
Oh, dear.
Ready?
So
I
This
do
is gonna
too,
be a
right?
normal 6.
Say what?
Do I have to roll it too?
Are you? No, you're too focused on
Yay!
your favorite person, your next door neighbor.
That's
Her name
4
is Nora.
successes.
4 successes.
8,
One for me.
9. It was an 8, a 9, a 0, and a 9.
Reroll the.
I rolled a 0.
All right. Both of you are able to see what looked to be like a shadowy figure across the street, eyeing the house very particularly. But he quickly molds backwards. You can almost see the legs of a spider on his back.
Looks like he's here already, I mumble to myself. And anyone who can hear mumble.
Nora looks up. Who's here, dearie?
You are. Haven't seen you in a long time. How you been?
Good. I thought George lived here now. I thought you guys had moved out.
We did. It was more like an Airbnb type thing. He needed a place, and we were off traveling for a while because this guy here, he got married.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So we had to leave for a while, travel through Europe, and we're back. And then George was like, "Hey, take your house back," and yeah, so we're back.
I'll
Permanently.
make sure to bring you some food tomorrow. I just wanted to say hi, but well, hi to you guys.
Yay!
And she walks up to Cedric. My name's Nora.
Cedric, it's nice to meet you.
And who's that lovely lady behind you?
This is my counterpart, Ophelia.
Oh, wonderful to meet both of you.
I just kind of look and just give like a slight nod of like I acknowledge this person. Yes, hello.
She's rather shy.
Oh, it's all right. Some good old home cooking will bring it right out of her.
Yes,
She's
you'll
from
have
Chicago.
to. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to talk over people. Discord lag. But when there's a moment, I say you will have to forgive her. She's very shy. She just recently saw a spider across the way.
I'm assuming everybody keys in on that, correct?
And, her being afraid of spiders, she's very keen to go track it down. Isn't that right?
Yeah, I think someone across the street may have a problem in a bit. I'm gonna go check that out. Make sure everything's okay. Nice meeting you. Here's a snack bag.
Nora kind of looks at the snack bag like, what?
It's a mix of trail mix, fruit roll-ups, and
Oh,
beef
I
jerky.
take the fruit roll except these.
Okay,
kinda-
it's trail mix and beef jerky.
She chuckles. Well, it's wonderful to see you all. I say I was just stopping in to see if George needed anything, but now that you're back, I know what you guys always need, so, tomorrow.
Yes.
All right, Nora. Always great having you by. We'll
So-
see you.
See you, and then she heads back over to her house next door to you.
Close
See.
the door. Okay. So
I lean over to Tommy and I say, Tommy, you didn't happen to catch how her eyes looked, did you?
Nora? No.
Did you
Uh,
note?
but-
Can I?
was
Did she
curious,
look
right?
okay? Did she? I'm like looking in her eyes. Did she look all right?
She looks just like a normal human.
She looks like Nora. Nora is Nora.
Yes,
always been
but
Nora.
the counselor
Nora.
running against George was also just a counselor running against George until very recently. Keep that in mind as we interact with humans, please. Just a
No one
heads up.
better touch that human.
I understand. I'm just sharing a concern that came to mind right just now.
I understand your concern. So far, Nora has been quite loyal and quite oblivious as to what is going on around
Well, then
anything.
it's a good thing I didn't invite her
She
for
is-
tea.
We intend
She
to
is
keep it
very
that way.
oblivious. Yes, we want to keep her so oblivious under a rock, know nothing.
And the flags march on. Yes, well, Ophelia should have tracked down our arachnid stalker by now.
Do I need to do a scent roll for that? Or
Yes, go ahead.
Ooh,
You
it's
will-
her time to shine.
You will be making a stealth plus dexterity roll opposed to his perception.
okay, so I'm going to get it. And was my stealth? Okay.
While she totals up the numbers, I'm going to ask Tommy, I say, this emissary, did our beloved Spider Queen tell us whom it would be? I'm afraid I wasn't privy to that part of the conversation.
Also, real quick, can I go ahead and spend a is it willpower to get an extra die?
It's 1 willpower for 3 dice, yes.
Okay, cool.
She just said she was gonna send someone. She didn't specify anything.
No description, no cryptic terminology applied to it.
Nope, it was solely up to her. We will know when we see it.
Will we?
And I think you saw it.
I think the extra legs kind of gives it away.
I understand. I did not know if they would be monitoring us directly or if we would be. Anyway, I'm sure Ophelia
She left
has
it to our imagination because I thought it was just gonna be a bunch of spiders living inside my crawl spaces, not no dirty, innuendos regarding that.
Okay, so out of the highest rolls, I did have to re-roll a 10, but it's an 8 and a 7.
So that's 2 successes.
Does
One-
a 10 also?
The 10 is always a success.
Yeah, the 8 is a success, 8 and higher.
Oh,
Yeah, it's all the dice above 8. So how many dice did you roll that are 8, 9,
too
or 10?
many. Only one of them was 8.
And
So
the 10,
all of the
right?
other were under
Yeah, and
8?
a 10. Yeah, everything else was under.
Okay.
Okay,
that's 2
so 8 and a
successes.
10. You re-rolled the 10 and... Okay, I'm just checking.
So
So
that's-
2 successes.
2 successes. Alright. Go ahead and roll me 1 extra dice and tell me what you get.
She dropped a dice. Hold on.
Essentially, this is a tiebreaker.
You want to use one of mine, Aaron?
No, I'm just trying to find this one because if I don't, just going to be lost forever. I'm just going to only one of these.
The dice have escaped.
Run away!
That's gonna be a no.
A no? No, he just wanted to know the number.
Yeah, I just wanted to...
What was the number? 4.
Okay, yeah. Okay. So, as you approach across the street, the house that he had... or Cedric had gestured to, you kind of start looking around the back of the house. It's an open backyard. No fence, no nothing. After probably about 12 or so feet is a gravel alleyway that loops around the block that you guys are in. There is no sign of this creature until you hear a clicking noise above your head. And that is where you see the hybrid, as in it has a human body, but it has gigantic spider-like legs coming out of its back, and it's looking down at you, drool coming out of the human's mouth, just dripping. Hello there, precious.
You done with the description so she can put her headphones back on?
Oh, is she scared of actual spiders?
I
Yes.
really
Yes.
don't like spiders. That's the problem. I really don't like spiders. I will take
Then
off
you
my
really,
headphones every time
you
they
really want to
describe.
kill this. Then you're gonna really
Your
want to
desire
kill
to
it.
kill this thing. We'll cut the description out and say you just really want to kill this creepy thing.
Did you bring the
Okay,
bug
cool.
spray?
Flamethrower.
I was going to say I brought a Molotov.
Probably. You did go shopping, so
Yeah.
This
Which,
is our
speaking of which, we
only
gotta
house.
kill-
Let's try not to
Well,
obliterate it, though.
that's the neighbor's house. Across the street.
Oh.
Is
Do we
that
like
the
them?
nice lady's house?
No.
Wait,
she's
is that
next door.
Nora's house? That's the
No,
other
no.
the house on the right, not the house on the left.
This is the house across the street. Do we like them?
You know what? That
You don't know them.
Okay, we don't know them.
I'll just here's the story, okay? Someone else saw the spider. They threw a Molotov, and we saved them. Boom! Insta story.
It's the win.
Are you legitimately throwing a Molotov at this thing?
Yeah.
Please no.
Okay,
Oh no.
This is happening.
It's a
This-
normal reaction.
I love her already.
This
This
is
is
a
go-
normal reaction any human would have.
This is
Yeah.
going to be dexterity plus weaponry, please.
You're
Okay.
legitimately not
Oh,
wrong.
snap, here you
If
go.
I
Here
saw
you go.
if I saw that thing in my house, I would just burn the house down.
Yeah.
Right, and weaponry. Weaponry. I'm gonna
Weaponry.
buy another willpower.
Okay, what does that bring your dice pool to?
It's gonna be probably I gotta do math in my head, so forgive me. I think
Just count.
7.
Dexterity plus weaponry plus willpower.
Weaponry 0.
Okay,
Right. Don't set yourself on fire.
so that would be -1 because you're untrained in weaponry.
So dexterity plus 2.
Okay.
Could I argue for athletics? She's throwing something like a ball.
0 athletics, baby.
Okay, then never mind.
It doesn't matter. Same dice pool.
Question though, are you gonna take a free action to scream?
I will scream, holy shit. There's a spider and Molotov.
So what we hear, apologies to the viewers, but what we hear is, holy bleep, there's a spider, Molotov. Right as Cedric says, I'm sure she's just fine.
No unnecessary bloodshed. Okay.
Technically, this is not drawing blood. This is cooking it.
Oh, okay.
That's a point.
So, any successes?
2. I had to reroll a 10, and it rolled out to a 9.
Nice.
That's still a success.
Yep.
I cannot read if this is a 6 or a 9, though. On one of them, can't tell on this thing.
Is there a line I can tell?
No.
Hand it to me.
There's got to be a
Uh,
or a dot.
There
on-
isn't on some of these D10s.
was it this one?
Yeah, next to the
Yeah,
four.
that's a 6. On the
Okay.
top, it's all one
Evens and
side
odds.
is
Yeah,
one
yeah,
side's
yeah,
even, one
yeah.
side's odd.
Alright.
Dice tip from your secondary dungeon master. When rolling a D10, the top sides are even, the bottom sides are odd.
Which, by
Yep.
the way, in a bit, I will have to actually have to ask Josh to mute his mic because I got to vacuum up some spiders. I found underneath one of the chairs while I was looking for my dice.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Throw a Molotov at it.
Your Molotov.
No Molotovs in the house.
If it was for the fact of these chairs, okay, side note, these chairs actually belong to my great grandparents, I would, but because they do, I'm not doing that to these chairs.
You're gonna
Please do
sacrifice
not
yourself.
Molotov the $600 mahogany chairs.
Alright. Your Molotov hits it squarely, shatters, it catches on fire, and immediately drops from the wall and begins rolling. I won't go into the details of how it's rolling.
I'll take off my headset for like a few minutes, so just do it, and Josh will update me of when you finish describing, okay?
Like
Okay.
less than 30 seconds.
Yeah. It's wrapped its legs around itself while the body's kind of ragdolling in the middle of the spider legs as it rolls. We're good.
just doing a stop, drop, and roll.
I guess that's an easy way to say it. Tommy goes.
Is it shrieking?
No. Luckily for it seems, while it did get a direct hit and it did get singed quite heavily, these things are quite resilient. So it's able to stand back up on its legs.
Of course.
And at that point, that's when it charges Ophelia. Ophelia, what is your defense?
Currently less so. She just jumped at the spider that was under the chair. Aaron, what's your defense?
Vinny, can you go look?
Oh my
3,
gosh, so
apparently.
3. Okay. It allows me to roll for as it lunges on top of her, attempting to bite her with its mandibles. I'll just call them mandibles. I know that's not what they're called.
I thought that was what they were called. Oops. Chompy chomps.
It's able to get a fairly decent bite in, and it deals 2 points of lethal damage to you, and it kind of, because it leapt at you, it kind of knocks you back as well. So there's distance between you and the hybrid again.
Okay, so
In here all
that
this, right?
didn't go well.
I was trying to I still gotta get one more spot in this chair. Can you summarize real quick, please? I'm sorry.
It
You take 2 points of lethal damage.
because it lunged and bit you.
Okay, where is my HP bar?
And lethal damage is the X. So you have 2 X's in your leftmost health box.
If you're using the digital version, just write it down on a piece of paper.
Yes.
Okay.
I got you.
And because it lunged at you when it did it, after it bit you, it kind of knocked you back a bit, so now there's distance between you and it again.
So you want to do that whole thing where you get distance between you and a target?
I would probably believe so.
So, are you booking it towards the house again?
Pretty much. I don't think I have a choice.
What is your speed?
10.
Roll that as a dice pool, please.
So was it 10 dice or?
Yes.
You
Okay.
could also take another form to help, I think.
Yes.
So I'd probably take on my Ursula form then and get like 17.
Urshel is gigantic horse-sized wolf.
This
Yeah,
is still
that's-
broad daylight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Garu?
That's
Oh.
even worse.
No,
That's even
actually,
worse.
my Daru is worse.
Yeah, Garu is meant for fighting. As in, if you were going to just take this thing on, that would be the form you'd want to take.
You don't run away in Garu.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll just go hand then just to going.
Erhan? Okay.
Yeah.
That works.
Count
You
my dice
chase
out.
with Garu.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, so I have 14 in my hand right now. I will reroll 1.
Stand by while we count dice.
Yeah, it's fine. I was having to count dice myself.
While we're on a small break here, so how goes the meta of the werewolf game? So everyone going well? Everyone having fun? We're taking on giant spiders, everyone. It's
Spiders.
It makes
Yeah.
me like a girl.
so storyteller question. Do we have to perform a ritual before going on an actual hunt, or can Cedric just say, okay, never mind, hunt begins now?
No, you can quite literally say, we're going to hunt this thing. There is a ritual that makes it a little bit more formal, but it's not necessary.
And it
Okay.
wouldn't work for
I got
this
my
very big
dice.
horses.
Okay?
I rolled 2 10s and a 9. I did roll the 10s, but they were not high enough.
All right. By the time you make it to the door, the thing's already leaping through the doorway, cutting you off inside. And when I say leaping through the doorway, I mean the spider thing has leapt through the doorway of your guys' house, pivoted in the middle of the living room, and is now in the middle of the living room, cutting her off.
Are you serious?
Is it still on fire?
No, it put itself out during its stop, drop, and roll phase.
Okay.
And actually, we're going to call it there for tonight, for this session.
I was going to say, don't worry, guys, got another Molotov.
You better
We're
have
in our
one.
house now.
Alright, so this is Ian, your storyteller, MB Rose,
That's Kita.
Nappy Kitty,
That's Tommy.
Booter,
Jackson.
Paz,
As Ophelia.
Vin.
As Cedric.
We will all see you in the next episode. We also want to encourage that you go to our links down below, subscribe to our YouTube. We have a Discord that you guys can join and meet the entire cast and talk tabletop RPGs with us. We would all love to see you there. Yeah, talk nerdy to us, baby.
If I may say, if you hit that follow or subscribe button, I will kill more spiders in my house because I hate them.
Please.
Oh,
In my apartment.
Remember, every time you don't like and subscribe good content, a YouTuber cries.
Yes.
that YouTuber is me. That YouTuber is me.
Also, fun fact, did you know 100% of our viewership is not subscribed to us?
Oh.
That's actually not true. That is not true.
Okay, good.
If you subscribe to our storyteller's Twitch channel, I will save a spider and release it into the wild.
That's a lie. Don't believe her.
Okay, you have to
that's-
record
no,
it.
we're-
Record it. It didn't happen.
Yes.
All right.
record me saving a spider.